Second Sunday. Making sure my connection is all right. Trying a different location today. So, how is everyone doing? Are we having fun yet? Right? World's going crazy? Yes. Well, I'm so excited to have this combo with you guys today. If you're just seeing me for the first time, I'm Jessica Alstrom. Most people just call me Jess. And I am pretty much everywhere right now. I am teaching a big program called Quantum Fitness, and it's a lot more than working out. It's about working in. And we are working on everything from metaphysics to quantum biology to, basic body chemistry to our spirituality, and really how it affects your ability to live your most badass life. And I think that's what it really, really comes down to at this point. We are, as a collective, facing the idea of losing basic rights. And that is the pressure. That is the pressure it is going to require us to wake up out of the dream that we're having that we thought we woke up from. It's a twist, like those amazing thrillers that right? You are in a thriller that is in a thriller right now. And the whole concept of what I'm working on right now is probably never been done. I'll own it. It's definitely new work. There isn't another teacher out there doing what we're doing right now, because we are working in the pure logistics of manifestation inside the human body. And most of the time when you're learning to manifest, it's like you and the universe, right? Co-creating. But the universe is inside of you. Everything you're seeing outside is projected images of some belief system and something that you are basically from a memory center or collaboration of your, cells, remembrance of who you could be, your brain's identification of what it believes you are. You're seeing a simulation. You're seeing a reality that is honestly not true. Now we get to make our own, this is a make your own adventure, holographic universe that we're sitting in. We get to be in these physical bodies so that we can choose. We can choose what it is we want to see. But first, we have to create it on the inside. And your body came with such specific hardware and software and the ability to adapt through influence, change, and choice, that it could literally become anything that you could set your mind to. But because we're very, 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 very easily influenced, we seem to set our viewpoint off of what we see. Boring, right? Boring, scary, terrifying, lonely, right? This is kind of what we vibe to. And if you are empathic or sensitive or awake, if you're on a journey, if you are, following, a religion or an idea that is somehow teaching you that you are more than, just your body and your job and all that stuff. If you are learning that, then you can identify that right now, never has it been more important for us to get really inside of ourselves and ask, do we want to keep seeing out there what it is that we're feeling? Because that's the secret. I got into this whole world of teaching metaphysics and quantum biology of over probably 11 years ago. And I started like everybody else with the secret concept of, thoughts create your reality. And I was like, awesome. And I was able to manifest a lot. I manifested a pretty big life. And I became one of those people who literally was teaching manifestation everywhere. I've been on tour all over the world. And, I'm teaching about the inner child. I'm teaching, about healing trauma. And it's been fantastic. But honestly, and I think that almost every teacher out there can probably thumbs up me right here in saying that there's been something off. There's been a little something off. And the something that's been off is that when we begin our journey, you have to understand that, and this is probably everybody that's listening to me, you started it off from pain. Yeah. Pain was your teacher. Pain was your motivator. No pain, no gain. Pain was the thing that woke you up. It got you asking questions. It got you, focusing on your healing. It got you, discovering more about life. And that's great. But a lot of times when we wake up through pain, it actually takes us on a fast forward journey out of pain into a new level of pain. And I'll explain that a little bit. To back up a little bit, if you guys are not familiar with my work, I have been teaching for a long time, as I said, and I have an academy that is virtual. So we're all COVID safe. And I teach all over the world. I think we're in 103 countries. And we are producing material based in really accelerated consciousness, accelerated healing, and we're focused around the scientific spiritual connection. So I wouldn't say I identify as a scientist necessarily 100% or a spiritual teacher 100%, because it's really that 0 point in the middle that I would say, that rogue, right? That rogue, I'm a rogue. Yeah, that's what I am. And that's where I identify as far as a teacher, because it's the point where the two ideas meet and this collaboration happens, where the unexplainable can become explained. That is the world that I get to play in every single day. I get to explain how the unexplainable works mathematically, scientifically, quantum biology, right? Our body is literally a most sophisticated computer in the universe. And I'm wearing my retainer today, so I will actually talk slower. I'm doing you guys a favor. My students are like, you talk too fast, Jess. So slowing it down, because this is really important stuff we're going to be talking about today. Today, I get the privilege of giving you this broadcast on the 10/10 mark, which is a very, very, very big day for energy. All right. For those of you who are not astrologists or could care less, what that means basically is this concept of numerology, where the number 10 is about the individual diving into their most amazing potential individually. Now, we keep hearing unity, right? Get together. Well, we know from experience that hurts, right? People are just not ready to work together yet. And here's why. Because we need that individual potential to rise up first. We need the individual healing to be maximized first. Before we learn to play nice with others, we have to learn to play with this. But I don't mean play with it. I mean, figure out how it actually works. Yes, we understand the chakra system. Yeah, we understand the brain and heart need to be in coherence. We understand that hormones are what gives us the feeling, right? They're the soundtrack of our lives. Without a hormone, you would feel nothing. So how does it all work together? And it's interesting because even myself, when I started this journey, I was so much more interested in the spirit world. Maybe you can identify with this. Oh, the different star systems, the different alien races, the different, the different ascended masters, the archangels, right? Source energy. I mean, I was like nerding out and geeking out over it. I could not get enough. And, it takes me into and taking you into your past lives, right? Your soul connections, your blueprints, your soul themes, your existence, right? It's taken us into learning about the shadow, and it's taken us to learn about how Earth was created. So very, 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 very fascinating content. And we are in an age of absolute information. Ignorance at this point is a choice. Okay, we have everything at our fingertips. Literally, the internet is the manifestation of the Akashic records. There isn't anything that we can't learn or figure out right here. But when we go on this journey, right, we are so excited. Open my gifts. I mean, that would probably be the number one thing that we get asked in our as practitioners is, can you help me open my spiritual gifts, right? And can you help me manifest more money? And can you tell me if the person I'm dating is my twin flame, right? I'm sure you teachers get that one a lot. And what do I need to do for rapid healing? And notice how everything is now, right? But look at how slow your life is going. Ever thought about that? How bad you want it? How bad you want all the gifts? How bad you want the healing, right? How bad you want people to understand you, see you, hear you, right? You want people to hire you. You want people to, be able to understand your particular message. I understand the wanting. That's desire. That's the first step of manifestation. And it is the most important. Well, here we are, 2021, right? And this is the year that I've been taking my academy through. Each year I've been naming since 2012, with the mini big boom happened, boom, right? And each year we have been naming the year as kind of an idea of what we need to be working through to really leverage this ascension process, aka evolution. Nobody can deny that we are in a very rapid evolutionary phase of humanity, right? So each year, the last few years, we've had the Vision Quest, right? We've had, we've had the Vision Quest, and then this year we are having to sit in our baggage, and we're having to unpack, and it's been rough. And we've got 6 planets in retrograde to help us. It's like, nope, you're not leaving the room until it's clean and organized, right? All the trash taken out. And that retrograde process is helping us kind of remember, right? Reboot, reconcile. And I would say that would be what I would call 2021 is the year of reconciliation. It is about getting right with you, not your parents, right? Your job, your money, it's you. And you, aka you inverse, universe, getting right with this. And we think that we need things to get right. We need the job. That's going to get us right. We need the guy, the girl. We need whatever conflict to be, resolved. We need, the money. We need more time. And really, all of those aspects are nicely packed in here. It's the one bag we forgot to look for when we were unpacking our baggage, right? We didn't realize that when we developed a human ego, it was designed to protect you. You realize very early that survival on Earth is less about, food and a roof over your head. On Earth, survival is based in acceptance. It's based in what you're allowed to do, what you're allowed to be, and what you're allowed to have. And so survival, the emotional well-being of a child is based in how it is accepted. Now, the brain, because it's very valuable, figures out who you are, determines a character out of your viewpoint, your practice, your observation, your witnessing, your experience, right? And your levels of unconsciousness. So when you were asleep, or maybe when you got hurt and you were unconscious, that was all recording as well. And what I've been reminding you guys lately in all of my work is that law of attraction is not bringing you what you want. It's bringing an average. Your lowest frequency and your highest frequency are averaged. It's an algorithm, right? So the algorithm is going to be taken based off what you're hiding the most, lowest vibration, and what you are the most transparent about, highest vibration. And somewhere in the middle is what you manifest. And that looks very bittersweet, doesn't it? And I say this probably every second Sunday. You guys are like, again, she's saying this. It's that important. Because if we look at our average point, right? Average is ordinary. And here you are with the body that was created in the image of God, perfect, fully capable of manifesting anything that it wills, focuses on, believes, and becomes. That's how amazing your body is. But what we did instead was we learned about how everybody else's body is, how everybody else looks, what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is allowing us to have or allowed to have. And we built a life out of that. And when we created our first human ego, I say first because there's another one. Our first human ego was for us to figure out how to be accepted. Okay. It created a little buffer, a little wall between you, right? Loud, charismatic, shining star, right? Jumping, singing, laughing, crying, whatever children do. You were taught to buffer that. Turn it down. Let's minimize that, okay? And when we did that, we forgot we built this wall. Out of protection, we replaced our intuition, our GPS, natural, that was connected to the cosmos with our own personal Wi-Fi. And we replaced it with judgment, which is an artificial, right, intuition. Judgment is about self-preservation. It is not intuition. It is preserving you so you don't look stupid, so you don't fail again, so you don't make another mistake, right? But because all of these ideas that buffer between you, the real you, the loud, obnoxious, shining star, and the you that you had to become because that's all you were allowed to be, created a false identity. And this is what we call ego. That's your voice in your head saying, remember you failed last time, you're worthless, you're not good enough. And I would say the average vibration of the human ego is you're not worthy. I would say that's accurate. It's an average point. There's highs and lows. There's better and worse happening. That's the average point. When we develop this ego, we don't like it. This is why you think terrible twos are difficult. But really, a 7, 8, 9-year-old is going to probably give you more trouble than your toddler did. See, in your toddler years, you were like, yeah, you don't really care what your parents are saying because you're still the alpha. Everybody is at your will, at your beck and call. You're the star. But at 7, 8, 9, you're dirty, you leave your shoes around, you're capable of taking the trash out. And so you're not able to manipulate as well and easy. And now you're sitting here with a buffer point between you and the entire universe that could be at your will. So, right, we get a little grumpy. Not only that, our body begins to fill up with sex hormones and we're confused. And we take that into our second 7-year cycle where we decide, who am I when I stand next to you? See, the first 7 years is, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Second 7 years, who am I when I see you through my eyes? Who am I when I stand next to you? Who am I when I see the outside world? Right? So we're developing a new character out of, I'm not allowed. I can't have what I want, right? And this ego develops our identity. The identity creates our behavior. Our behavior creates our personality. Our personality projects our physical reality. It's a mirror. It's a reflection. So with that being said, we're on life, at the age of 21, 3 7-year cycles. The body, which was designed to grow into a state of maturity, fully functioning, solidified brain, still malleable, but online, would be capable of now letting the host, the consciousness, decide what and how the body was transformed after that point. Your body had a set point of 21 years of development, and then the keys were designed to hand over to the consciousness that was basically driving the vehicle. Now, I don't know about you, but at 21, I was crazy time. I mean, nutso. I did not have a clue that I was able to create my own reality. Not a clue. Okay. And didn't have a clue really until my late 30s. So what was naturally intuitive for us to be able to take the keys over and say, ooh, I've got this 21-year-old body and I have all this wisdom of the universe. I can really do some things here. I can really command everything. Okay. We just didn't get to that point. We were taught even more. Oh, well, now I'm 21 and now I need a job. And now I'm not allowed to do this, and this. And I have to do this, and this. Okay. So what happens is usually in our 30s, we get sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? We're 30, we're not 80. Our bodies start hurting, right? We might start developing some issues. And that's kind of what happens. Pain steps in and says, wake up, wake up. You were supposed to drive this thing. You were supposed to tell us who we were. But instead, the world keeps telling us who we are, who we're allowed to be. Doesn't mean we're not tantruming in there, but we are following along the best that we can, causing trouble when we can through manipulation and addiction and all those wonderful things. But we're still showing up every day, miserable. Joy is this much, right? Overwhelm this much. The body's becoming short-circuited. It's stressed out. It's basically not working efficiently because it's never been used properly, and therefore the systems start to separate. We created an emotional buffer that separated you from you, created an alter ego, the you that you were allowed to be. Then the contraction of that lie turned into a belief system that now begins to contract the physical body and separate important information from you. So the brain, right, separates from the heart separates from the gut, and those three brains, me, myself, and I, start to try to pull information from wherever they can. They start to need outside support and help, and they want to identify with something that feels true, feels real, feels like me. So we attract people, places, and things to either trigger us for more awakening or remind us of who we really are through capabilities. Now, depending on how aware you are, that could look like jealousy. That could look like envy. That could look like disgust. That could look like fear, depending on what filters you have created and what you have been allowed to become. So usually what we do, because we create our personality identification, our tastes in men, our taste in food, our taste in everything out of an ego construct, then we go on a journey to learn who we are. We take our ego on a journey to learn who we are. We get very intelligent. We can study quantum physics, right? We can get trained in every different healing modality there are. We can talk to angels. We can talk to the dead. We can talk to ETs, right? All through this aspect of the alter ego. So what happens is we create a second ego. Now, I call this a spiritual ego, but really what it is a superhero ego. It's a super ego. It's you, it's me, who has become more smarter, wiser, maybe richer, right? Maybe better looking, maybe your level of success got lots of letters after your name. You're empowered. Your ego becomes empowered. Now, what happens with this is now we have two egos. We have the ego that I'm not allowed, I'm not good enough. And we have an ego that I'm better than you. I'm better than anyone sleeping. I'm smarter, right? I can do way more cooler things. Right? I can work with energy. I can have a direct relationship with God, right? And I don't like anything that's different than me because it threatens my way of looking at things. So the world we're looking at, you guys, the war that we are really dealing with here is the two egos. The intelligent, sophisticated, older adult ego, and the ruthless, abused child running around, creating pain. And I would say that both of these egos equally as destructive. All right. So I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, Jessica Alstrom, spiritual teacher, right? And I considered myself that because, I can channel and I can do all kinds of really cool parlor tricks. And I've been working with energy for 10 years and see different dimensions and see your timeline. I can read your mind. I can see in your body. I can do a lot of cool things. And I've been able to do a lot of cool things for many, many years. Doesn't necessarily mean that I had a better life. I didn't mean that I knew what the heck was going on in my relationships or that, money and success wasn't supposed to be bittersweet. I didn't realize all of that because, again, the bigger we become on the spiritual ego side, it is to compensate for the little tiny ego inside that had to develop out of self-preservation. So even as a spiritual teacher, we're still operating from self-preservation. And now we're in judgment again about people and places and things that are choosing different paths than us. But what we forget is, regardless of these two egos, okay, regardless of these two egos, everyone here is still operating out of love. Everyone. The Karens we talk about, right? The activists, the renegades, the pedophiles, like every single person is acting from their belief of love. Every single person. Now, who are we to decide who's right and who's wrong? Well, you say, well, they're killing people, right? You're right. That's true. In this simulation, that is what they are doing. They're taking action in that behavior. And, well, they're hurting small children. You are right. But from their perspective, from the way that their brain was developed, the course of action that they took, the personality that they solidified sees a much different reality than you do. See, the filters are created from the belief systems. The eyes that you see out of and the eyes that they see out of see a different world. And they see a world where we are wrong and they are right, or I'm right, you're wrong. And it still is separation because it's still coming from the buffer point. How many of us actually created an ego at 7 years old and then went on a spiritual journey and went backwards, right? To go basically go integrate ego. No, we ran away from ego, and because what we resist persists, okay, then because we ran away from ego, we created a bigger, stronger one out of resistance. Well, I don't want to be worthless, right? I want to be loved and accepted and seen and heard, and I want to be successful. I want to give someone a reason to love me. I want to be good enough. The spiritual ego is born out of trying to become worthy. And I know this because this is exactly what I've been experiencing the last 5 years. And it's been interesting when I create a workshop. Obviously, I create the workshops because of my own suffering. And then I will actually teach them based in what I am learning about my own suffering through more awareness. And this is really where quantum fitness came in, because when I started to attract, after all these years, thousands of hours of energy work, thousands of hours of inner child healing, thousands of hours of money line healing, I'm still manifesting bittersweet things. I said, something's off. That something is off. So I went back to my formulas and I looked at my original formula that I created for manifestation in 2010. The 7 steps of manifestation. And I really looked at them from different eyes this time, not from my alter ego, I'm not good enough, not from my spiritual ego, that I'm more awake than someone else, but really looked at them from a very humble, rock bottom place and looked at it through basic principles of science. And I looked at the first one, which was desire. And the universe says you cannot attract anything that you are lacking. But that sounds weird because everything we want is because we're lacking it. And, we want the world to be at peace. We want this war to stop. We want COVID to go away. We want our rights back. We want to choose whether we get a vaccine or not. We want to, feel safe, all of these things. And that's just your, basic asking. That's not the new car you want, the respect in the relationship that you desire. That's not the healing for your kids. That's none of that. That's the bigger stuff. But what we don't realize is that everything we're seeing on the movie screen of reality is coming from within us. That's why some places in the world are unaffected by COVID. Some states are unaffected. Some states are brutal, right? Where the laws are very extreme about your own human rights. You don't even get to be a patriot, some of you who live in certain states. What does that mean? What filter are we looking through? Because you are looking through your filter to determine your reality based on what? Your basic blueprint of your body was perfectly designed for you to become that which you desire. Desire, aka the definition, choice. Take a breath. Desire means choice. So when you think about your desires, do you have that choice? Is that a choice you can pick from? Is that like choosing, which kind of bread you buy or what kind of cereal you eat? Is it that easy? Because choice is the true meaning in the metaphysical world of desire. It does not mean something you're hungry for, something you want to experience that you've never had before. It means that it's already within your coordinates and all you have to do is choose. Choose from your divine feminine side of your brain that is a hemisphere all of its own. Choose with that you want to become and demonstrate a vision. This vision will create a chemical reaction. This chemical reaction starts to turn the body on. Ooh, what's happening? Visualize. It's like sexting for choice, right? Getting everybody hot and bothered inside you. Start turning on this mechanism of manifestation all through choice. Ooh, who should we become? Ooh, wow, the world's going to hell in a handbag. Who do I get to be in that story? Instead of, oh, I don't get to do anything. Who do I get to be in that story? I don't even have to be in that story because within me is the universe, and I can change the script like that. So are we spiritual, guys, or are we manifestors? We are manifestors. We're creators. We're generators. We're all of these things inside this body, and we are aware enough to take back our power. Yes, we got blindsided. Yes, we were influenced. Yes, we believed things that don't actually have to be true. But right now, we have an opportunity at the 1010 portal gate. 10 being, hey, I'm an individual and I know my potential. This is my gal here. She's swimming in a sea of infinite potential because that's how much choice she has. That's what this day is. This is what this energy is. We're moving out of this retrograde. You guys, we're letting go of so much karmic baggage. It really is now a choice. Who do you want to be in your future reality here? Because I'm going to tell you, if you're playing and manifesting with the outside of you, if you are co-creating with the outside of you, it's going to get worse. You're going to have to be real strong physically, really strong emotionally, or you could get real vulnerable, get a crap ton of courage, and dive down deep into your infinite spaces and remember how this thing works. You came to figure this out, not that. You came to figure you out, not him. And it's easier, I know, because with us, we can't see what we look like. We can't see what we look like without a mirror, but we can see what other people look like. That's why it's so easy for us to help them with our problems. And that's how we hide our spiritual ego, is we help the world with that we know, what we can do, and that gives us a sense of well-being, but it doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't heal your body. It might heal somebody else's body because you're holding space, but they are actually utilizing the courage that you're holding space for if they do heal. So when we dive down into this vision of this desire, then what we're doing is we're making up the masculine brain. Hopefully you guys got an opportunity to see my video that I did the other day in my kitchen, where I showed you how the left and right hemisphere work with the brain, and basically the idea of a lamp and an outlet, right? So the divine feminine is nothing but energy. She's not real, but she's everything. She's everywhere. And when followed into a conduit, she can become that which she is encaged with or in place with. Activate. She can turn on the lamp as long as the switch is on. right? As long as the wall unit is working correctly, she can turn that light on. That light, that lamp, is the masculine energy going, ooh, I'm just turned on. I'm excited. I want to do something. I want to become something. I want to become more. And together, through the vision, an intention is born. A child out of this idea is created. Imagination, whereas the seduction of the divine feminine and masculine, still self-contained. I haven't left the house, right? I'm not working a job. I'm fully manifesting my own reality while I'm sitting in this chair and everyone else is running around. Okay. I'm sitting here going, ooh, this is fun. Who do I want to be? What do we want to be? What do we want to create? Yeah, I might be a lamp, but what kind of lamp can I be? I can choose that. I can choose whatever I want to be, and I can expand on it. I can illuminate this space. I can be helpful. I can do so many things. So by the time we get to imagination in this manifestation formula, we are integrating, we are intersecting, we are collaborating, we are co-creating the divine masculine, the divine feminine, created in the image of God, together as one. Basically, this little spark sends this data intention down to all the way down into the root, your root chakra, right? Where I am real, I am grounded, I'm alive. That's where money is, that's where family is, that's where childhood is kept. All of a sudden, the root starts to turn on. And it says to the sacral, it says, hey, you want to make out? Like, let's get this party going. And sacral's like, yeah, because I'm the creator here. And this is turning me on. Let's get this going. Let's become more. Let's become more that we've been based on who we are and what we desire, what we choose. Now, solar plexus says, I can demonstrate that. I can move my body around and become that. We move up to the throat. I can say that. I can tell the truth about that. Third eye, I can see that, although it doesn't exist yet. Crown, I'm that. I got that. We got that. Let's send the information to the cosmos before we wake the child. Boom. Now we're up in the cosmos. The energy comes back, and with all of the force in the universe, pineal gland, that is basically, everyone talks about it looking kind of like an acorn. It's much more than that. If you've ever seen the cartoon Atlantis, they talk about this crystal that's infinite energy. It's a power source. Well, dormant, your pineal gland looks like a bunch of flakes floating in some weird plasma. But if you understand that those are the fractaled consciousnesses of you, and when you come together and get on the same page with yourself, all those little pieces like broken glass go back together to one and basically turn that plasma on fire. That fire is the Kundalini rising. This is when we can create, wake, birth the child. This energy comes into the heart, and the heart turns on like Iron Man's chest. Boom, out. Now, again, one more cycle through. We are becoming internally that which we desire through our choice to become more. Our abundance is coming from what we are capable of being. When you walk into a grocery store, it's abundant of food. It's ingredients. You walk in as the chef. You are inspired by what you can choose to make out of what choices you have. You can make anything as long as your imagination is there. Sometimes things in the grocery store inspire you. Oh, I didn't know they had this. I'd like to make this with this over here. Because the world is your oyster, and your reality is teaching you feedback in the level of contrast. What choices are out there, and what could you make that doesn't yet exist? It was supposed to be quite exciting when you understood your own hardware, but of course, we were taught away from this intuitive system. We were taught away from our knowing. We were taught away from feeling. We were taught away from becoming. So what we were taught to do is we were taught to shut half of our system down and manifest, co-create with the world outside of us as our other half. And when we co-create through manifestation, step one, desire, my desire might hurt, because if I desire to be more, but nobody around me is allowing me to be, or nobody understands me, then I'm desiring to be understood. I'm not desiring to be more. And so now I'm becoming more basic. I'm becoming more, there's more suffering, because now my desire is just to be understood. Well, if I was a child, I wouldn't want to be understood. I would want to become more. I would want to be real. I would want to create things. But as we have to disempower, and we have to shut ourselves down and turn our volume down, we no longer get to co-create with the other side of our unique universe that is the yin and yang of consciousness, that has the contrast built in. The whole reason we have the masculine and feminine energy is to have the contrast built in, the dark and the light. It creates the depth, it creates the desire, it creates the knowing. And through that aspect of ourselves, we then can pursue to become more. And what we do is, because we're powerful manifestors, we know that, we are able to create with the surrogate of the outside reality that literally is just a reflection of our average point. So if I am only able to manifest with a co-creation outside of me that is the average of me, I'm not going to be capable of more than creating an average life. No matter how much I work, no matter how much I study, no matter how much I help the world, no matter how many books I write, right? Because when we're co-creating, guys, from the outside world instead of the perfect system inside, we have to leverage our energy, which means if I desire more, let's say this cup is empty. So if I desire more freedom, right, then how am I going to get freedom from a leverage point of average? How do you get more from average? How do you get more from the outside world when you are basically playing with an average point of reflection? Well, then I would have to give away money. So I would have to pour some of this money, right, into my time cup to get more freedom. See, it's a parlay game when you're co-creating with the third dimension. When you're co-creating with physical reality, you're parlaying something. You have to exchange freedom for money, time for health, right? Love equals selflessness, service, right? It means pain in the third dimension. But sitting inside of the universe that has basically 7 chakras and way more than that, but the ones that are operating are moving into the 12 star system, 12 dimensions, access of all levels of consciousness, which means that the ability to become unlimited in your infinite possibilities only resides in your ability to believe that it is possible. Now we read the books, we're like, yeah, we created our own reality. Right? I don't know why I created that. I don't know why I created him. I don't know why, because we're still co-creating outside. So quantum fitness is basically the journey back in. And we're realizing that the buffer that the egos have created, both spiritual and egoic, right? The third dimensional ego, or the I'm not good enough versus the I'm better than everyone not awake ego, is buffered by one emotion: grief. Grief is the problem on this planet. It's not evil. It's not anger. It's loss. Every ounce of bad behavior comes from an unintegrated loss. Every tantrum, every manipulation, every ounce of cheating, stealing, corrupting, fighting, bullying, lying comes from loss of power, loss of freedom, loss of love, or the anticipation that it could happen again. You see, the person who is yelling at you because you won't get a vaccine is actually yelling from her belief, his belief of love. You're the per reason that my child isn't going to be safe. You see how that's loving? Now, it's not loving towards you, but it's still coming from an act of love. Because I have some family members, and I know you can identify with this, who truly believe with everything inside of them that the vaccine is going to be the cure. Now, who am I to tell them that their belief is wrong? It is coming from a very loving place that they're worried about me. They might even shame me or, like not invite me over for dinner. And that's okay. That's not my story, but that is a lot of my clients' stories. They're not even allowed to go do the things with their family that they love because they're not getting the vaccine. But I'm telling you, they're not doing this to punish you. They love you. And they love everyone that they're afraid you're hurting. So it's actually coming from a good place, you guys. Like everybody hating on each other, it's all just love in disguise. It's the desire to be well, desire to be seen and heard and understood, the desire to be safe. And we are a bunch of lost children who never really got to grow up properly, who are still running programs. I'm not safe, I'm not free, I'm not worthy, and I'm not deserving. And none of that is true, because everybody, every human, regardless of what color you are, what gender you've chosen, right? What religion you identify with, whatever, what heritage you are, you have the exact same hardware that everybody else has. Everybody has two hemispheres of their brain. Everybody has a heart. Everybody has a gut. Everybody has a pineal gland. Everybody has a vagus nerve, spinal cord, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 ears, for the contrast of manifestation to be completely realized from inside of you. Which means, hopefully you're rejoicing right now, that you do not need 1 penny. You don't even need 1 ounce of space. You don't need freedom. You do not need people. You do not need places. You do not need things to manifest your heart's desires from inside you. You just have to go within. And you're going to have to remember how this little system dances. All my little stuff that I've been posting lately is like, I'm really getting it in you guys' brain that without the hemispheres of the brain sinking to the 0 point energy, that 0 point of infinity, boom, 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 I am, will never turn you back on as one system. You will always need the outside world to manifest your desires, and they will always be give and take. If there's something you need from the outside world, you will have to give something away. Now, from manifestation from the inside of you guys, it's win-win. It's abundance. It's everybody wins. Have you noticed in the outside world, when you want to manifest your freedom, you have to hurt someone else? Sucks. When you want to have more money, you got to give away time. Really sucks. That's what I mean about bittersweet. But when you manifest from inside, you're manifesting for the entire universe. So you don't have to choose what to give away to get what you need. You do not have to desire loss of any kind mixed in your choice to get what you want. You don't have to lose time. You don't have to lose space. You don't have to lose abundance. And you do not have to lose your freedom to manifest from the inside of you. And what you will get if you manifest from the inside of you is an expanded reality that is co-created with others that are manifesting from within. This is how we are going to unify. Because right now, anything I want is going to trigger someone else. Anything I need is going to deplete somebody else. How it works truly, is when we manifest something from that, kind of seductive dance of masculine and feminine, creating the inner child's activation point through the heart and the pineal gland, through the cosmic energy and the grounding elements of Mother Earth. Wow, it's pretty cool. We are creating the ultimate channel of expansion, which means I just said you don't need anything. Well, how are you going to get money? By just sitting in your chair fantasizing about your masculine and feminine energy. See, the thing is God, or the sound of awe, and this energy of the Big Bang is then awakened and brought through to people, places, and things to help them organize and balance, harmonize their reality. So you're sitting here going, I really want a white car. I don't know why I want this car. I just want to drive this car because it's going to be an expression of my higher self. And I would choose a white car. Great. Good. Work your magical energy that I teach in quantum fitness in your own biochemistry. Wait for that fifth step of manifestation called inspired action. And through inspired action, you will know, see, or attract. Someone's going to call you and go, hey, I got this white car on Price is Right. I don't want it. You want it? Sure. Great. Now it's out of my garage. Win-win. This is the type of things we will be manifesting when we're working with our own hardware. And I know because I'm proving it in my reality. I'm proving it now that I finally went in and turned my other side on. Guys, we've been playing at a level 5 when we have the power to play 12. We have been playing small. We have been desiring hope. We're a collective, a settlement. We've settled. So no wonder we're starting shit, guys. We're bored as hell. The only thing to do is fight, create problems. At least that way we can use our creator energy of destruction and rebirth. Ooh, I get to start over again for the 20th time. Ooh, I get to flatline and have another dark night of the soul. That'll be fun. And all we have to do is go back to our basic quantum biology that was designed by could be alien technology because of the way it's formulated. And when we activate this center point of 0 point field and bring the fractal shreds of crystalline energy that is called Christ consciousness into one unity and ignites the plasma ignites the entire brain, moves into the coherence of the heart. The body becomes telepathic. The mind has never been telepathic. The heart is communicating with every other heart in humanity. And this whole problem disappears. And it can start with you. So this is what we're doing, even though I'm acting a fool out there with all kinds of craziness and all fun videos, that it's time for us to have fun. We are the most amazing creators in the universe, and we get to be real. We get to taste, touch, and feel. And we're pissing it away, guys. We're settling for less than we are capable of. And it's time for us to go back in and turn ourselves on instead of worrying about what's going to happen next year. Because to wrap up, next year is the year of 2022. In our world, we call it the catch-22. I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. So you might as well just learn how to play. Because really, it's going to be about what you want. Not what you think you can have, but what you know you can create. It's that calling is never going away. It tortures you. It's why you drink wine and all kinds of other stuff, because it's not going away. And your body cannot go back online and start to reboot your muscles and your joints and everything you've destroyed through stress and lack cannot fully basically wake back up and rebuild itself. It can, by the way. It's designed. As soon as that plasma hits, you guys are immortal, literally. You will choose your own reality based on when you want to go and stay, and you won't necessarily want to choose what you're doing right now, and that would be fine because you are in choice. This is what I'm telling you. The future of humanity is based in internal manifestation. Internal manifestation is what turns the biochemistry on, activates it with all 12 dimensions, your DNA activations, right? So it's not about channeling your spirit guides, guys. It's not about using your energy modalities and all of your spiritual gifts to heal others. You're going to heal the most people by becoming the most you. Because when that lamp is fully on and fully authentic and transparent, it inspires everyone else to turn themselves back on. And it is so much more fun to play with people who are turned on than play with people who think you're going to turn them on and you're going to turn them on, and everybody gets disappointed and now you're in a lawsuit. Are we sick of this? Because it's not about vaccines, it's about pressure. And if this universe has thrown us anything in this last season of Jumanji, it's this collective needs pressure because they're not getting it. We're going to have to steal every basic freedom that they have. So they're forced inside and go, well, I'm so bored to death. I'm going to go in here and see what's going on in this universe. Why do you think you lose things? Why do you think you lose people? Why do you think you attract certain people to trigger you? Because it's triggering you to go inside where the abundance always was. You will always be disappointed, and you will always have your expectations not met when you're manifesting outside of you. So quantum fitness teaches you how to get rid of the buffer point. We're working in releasing grief. And those of you who are in my class that are like, is it ever going to go away? Yes, it is. But this isn't one of those spiritual drugs that, one drink of ayahuasca and you're healed. Grief needs to be sat with, experienced. Those of you who have lost people know that grief does not go away. It becomes a deeper part of you. Not that those of you in my class that are going through your grief release program right now are literally like cursing me. I understand, but I had 46 years of grief stocked up, and my point of manifestation was to choose people who still didn't love me. Not fun. I'd rather grieve for 3 to 6 months, which I only did about 3.5 months, honestly. And I wasn't grieving every day. I was just being with it. You've lost time, you've lost money, you've lost self-respect, you've lost your own freedom, you've lost your destiny, you've lost your choices, you've lost your dreams, your hopes, and you've settled for, ooh, I get to go on vacation one time a year. This is not how we came to live. And we need to grieve the things that we've lost to make space. Divine Feminine needs space. Divine Feminine, she is space. Divine Feminine is abundance. She's the energy everywhere. Divine Masculine is time. Divine Masculine is freedom. And those 4 elements make up the 4 valves of the human heart. When activated, give you the ultimate playground to experience. So I hope you guys join me. We're having the most fun, even though we're crying a lot. We're getting in the best superhero shape of our lives. We're playing all day. And we're remembering that the outside world has done nothing but give us the best pressure that we needed to become the diamonds within. And when we become fully online, we will be able to affect 750,000 to 1 million people around us by just being online. We become the self-service. And they say, oh, well, if you have self-service, I have self-service. And that's called inspiration. It's time for us to do our real healing work, that which we inspire. All right, I'll see you guys in the classroom, and know that this gateway that's opening up, all these retrogrades are going direct. Thank goodness, Saturn. Bye. Saturn's been fun. And moving us into the shadow space, the shadow space of us integrating all this work we've been doing for 1 full year. Actually, we've been doing this work since 2017 that we're wrapping up right now in this week. So we're going to have some energy coming through that's going to inspire a lot of inspired action, 5th step of manifestation, to get us ready for the beautiful catch-22. And if I'm damned if I do, and if I'm damned if I don't, I might as well do what I want. And what you want isn't bad. The only reason you have a double life right now and you do things that you're not proud of and shameful of is because you had to settle. You've had to live below your means as a creator, and therefore your only way to have fun is to have a tantrum, have an addiction, have a secret life. I want for you to be able to realize and tap into your own potential. It isn't about being strongest for there. It's about being courageous, which is vulnerability, the true definition of strength. So I'll see you guys next month for November 11/11, guys. That's a crazy energy. We're building momentum. We're building momentum. And we are diving in. So if you guys are wanting to do quantum fitness, even though we started part 2, please do part 1. We're going to be having retreats next year. It's really important I get my hands on you so it can really show you where this grief is hidden in your body. And once it releases, you make the space Divine Feminine needs to start desiring correctly. Because when there's too much grief in your body, your desires come from not wanting to lose something or hiding what you've already lost. We need that first step of manifestation desire to activate the rest. All right, guys, I'll see you on the other side. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.